Happy New Year, everyone. It's Master Leaf here, and welcome back to another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath commentary. It is the 31st of December 2012, and as we speak, you may hear fireworks outdoors, and that is because it is the 31st of December, and we're approaching the new year where I currently am living. So, I do apologize if you hear that in the background, but you know, that kind of adds to the atmosphere of the VOD, you know what I'm saying? So here we go, we've got Freestyler. He's going to be playing as the pink random on the right. I don't know where he is situated just yet. We'll go through the players first. We've got Freestyler and we've got eXs.cRoNic, who is playing as the blue marked of Kane. And of course, needless to say, we have Tuma playing as the observer, because you know that's the best way to play the game. So, Freestyler on the right, eXs.cRoNic on the left. And it looks like cRoNic is going to place down his Hand of Nod. There we go. Going to be drafting those Awakened squads. Now, if you draft a Shredder turret as MOK, the Marked of Kane, you only get a single squad member in your drafted squad. So the combat effectiveness of your drafted infantry as MOK are not as good as the other factions. That is partially the reason why people do not often play MOK. The other reason is that their EMP blast is very bugged. I mean, seriously, 1 out of 3 times it only works. I mean, I think you have to aim in front of the units, but most of the time the EMP just refuses to work flat out, and it's completely bugged. Buzzer takes out the Awaken. Now that's another thing. These buzzers, they cost $200. And they kill a single Awakened squad member. That's really the only thing that the buzzer can kill, aside from itself. In the game, it can only kill the Awakened single squad member. And case in point, takes out another scout squad. Now, eXs.cRoNic is going to be scouting with a Raider buggy, since he is up against R17. I forgot to mention this, but since Freestyler did take random, he was dealt with R17, so I mean, he seems to be pretty good with the Scrin factions. From what we saw in the last few games that I vodded and casted, he is not too bad a Scrin player. Lifting up the drone ship, going to expand to his natural safe Tiberium field. Meanwhile, eXs.cRoNic, he's going to go for the same strategy, or not. Oh, there we go. Placing his power plants at the edge of his base. Now this is quite strategic, I suppose, since if he were to be attacked by Seekers, those power plants here will not be vulnerable at the back of his base, so that is quite smart of cRoNic to place them there. Structure placement in this game is quite vital, more important than you may think. And Freestyler, he has managed to expand to his safe Tiberium field. Going to be working on a 3rd refinery right now. He does have a proper ratio at his green field here. He may have this harvester on a rally point. It looks like it's heading towards the blue Tiberium. Is that heading towards the blue Tiberium? I suppose it is heading towards the blue Tiberium. He's got 2 harvesters heading there. Or I don't know, Freestyler, you shouldn't really be sending 2 harvesters there. I mean, I reckon that harvester could easily clean that up. And cRoNic, he's informed about this harvester leeching, and he's going to intercept it with these bikes, and those harvesters are just, you know, prey for those bikes. That's what cRoNic really wanted him to do. Anyways, I mean, bikes are so fast, they can chase these harvesters all day, all night, and they're just going to get destroyed, these harvesters. Really, there's nothing there to defend it, and already Freestyler is going to lose a harvester. cRoNic setting up his refinery there. So 1 harvester down for Freestyler. That's not looking too good for him at the moment. Losing a harvester, and I don't think he'll lose a 3rd unless cRoNic really wants to commit to killing this harvester here. Will he get the harvester? Will he get it? I don't know. It's going to be close. Will he get this harvester? Yes, he does get the harvester. But that bike, that could have been destroyed in the harvester. If that didn't get killed, then maybe that wouldn't have paid off so well for cRoNic, but I reckon that definitely did pay off phenomenally well for cRoNic, as he destroyed 2 harvesters with like 4 or 5 bikes, which is extremely cost effective. Can't really argue against that, really. And even the bike receiving some free repairs cRoNic, he's established an expansion down here. He's got 2 harvesters. His main field has not been depleted yet. cRoNic, it looks like he's mined more of this. Those harvesters, they both got sniped down trying to go to the blue tire infield, so sometimes that can be a trap going there. I mean, it pays off in some scenarios, but other times it can actually be quite the opposite. cRoNic sending some bikes around the flank. This is what Nod likes to do, send these bikes around the flank, try and snipe a harvester or 2 if your opponent isn't paying attention. Really, if you're up against any Nod faction, you will want to reveal the map or as much of it as possible so you don't get surprised by these bikes like this that are just going to go around. And since Freestyler has no eyes there, actually may have eyes there because there is a Seeker. He may have actually spotted those bikes, but it doesn't look like he's responding to it as these Mechapedes, he's got Mechapedes, wow, this is really fast take. He's got his tier 3 up, his technology assembler, but oh, bikes coming in, and will they snipe down this Mecha Head? I reckon they'll be sniping down the Mecha Head now, and will he get this Mecha Head? This Mecha Head is being damaged, will he destroy it? He does destroy it, and he's got 4 bikes, so that's already pays off for eXs.cRoNic, who has destroyed a Mechapede head while only losing 1 bike. Meanwhile, how is Freestyler going to respond to this? He does have Seekers here. Will he attack those Scorpions? Not paying attention. Those Scorpion tanks are picking off those Seekers one by one. He will want to send those Seekers in right now. And where are the bikes? The bikes, they looks like they got cleaned up. Absolutely for sure they got cleaned up there, as there are 3 Mechapedes. 1 is partially developed. He may want to give those Mechapedes some segments. Preferably some shard segments, as the other segments are fairly useless in this patch. Patch 1.02. Freestyler, he has expanded to the blue Tiberium field. There is a few blue Tiberium crystals here, and the benefit of also expanding here is that you can also take the Tiberium spikes, which is a nice boost to your economy. Unfortunately though, going to the blue Tiberium field while not expanding ASAP means you will likely find yourself to be 1 minute in a very good economic position, and then you're just screwed. You've got nothing really, no Tiberium, no resources. So 4 Mechapedes here, will they be able to take on this army of Scorpions and bikes? I really think so, but it all depends on how well cRoNic manages his units here. These Mechapedes are fairly susceptible to bikes. From what I've noticed, the Mechapedes have a tendency to target the buggies first, so it is a nice idea including buggies with your bikes. And that's nice work by cRoNic, sniping down a Mechapede. Will he do the same with this Mechapede here? Excellent micro by cRoNic, taking out 2 Mechapedes, and there's Vertigo's out for cRoNic, and will he micro well? Smashes 2 Mechapedes. Wow, that is amazing. And will he get the 3rd one? Oh, that was close, really close. He could have nailed those 2 Mechapedes, and that would have been just epic by cRoNic. Unfortunately, in this patch, if you give these Mechapedes disc segments, hang on, actually hold that for a second. We've got bikes here, and will they take out this Mechapede here? No. But he's got what do you call these things? Vertigo bombers, and Vertigo bombers, they will end those Mechapedes. Anyways, as I was saying, if you give Mechapedes disc launcher segments after applying the shards first, they will not shoot, as the first segment of the Mechapede has to be a shard or a disintegrator segment in order for the anti-air capabilities of the Mechapede to work as they should do. So that is quite a nasty bug, if I do say so myself. Single bike there, going to take out this Seeker with this Mechapede here. Easily taking out that bike, and there is 3 bikes here. He's probably looking to destroy this Mechapede, because once he's destroyed all these Mechapedes, Freestyler will have no fast attack, and fast attack, if he's got no fast attack, then he will be vulnerable to bike spam. And bikes and buggies is what cRoNic is going to be doing at the moment. He does have 4 Storm Riders, not Storm Riders, these Vertigo bombers. But the Hexapod is out. The Redeemer, though, it is almost, I'd say, 30% complete. Freestyler, he has found his way to expand to this green Tiberium field, but it's in extreme danger of being destroyed as those Vertigo bombers put on a metric ton of damage onto that drone ship. And will he destroy the drone platform? That is the question. I don't think so. And what was that? Was that something? I thought I heard or, perceived a Tiberium vein detonation, as that kind of, shakes the screen a little bit. But I did not. A little misconception there. So we've got Seekers trying their best to cut off these buggies from EMPing the Hexapod, but the Hexapod does get EMP'd once again. There's just too many buggies here. He's going to have to bring in the heavy guns like the tripods. He needs the tripods. I mean, as Reaper 17, tripods are a must. I mean, that's really their only trait. The only reason why you'd play Reaper 17 is for the tripods and the shields of which he does not have. So that's another thing I have to criticize Freestyler for. And also, I've noticed this in the last game that we saw Freestyler play. He didn't go for the shield upgrade, and I reckon he could have benefited from that a lot. But it doesn't matter now, as he does escape with his Hexapod still alive. The Redeemer is out, going for avatars. I mean, he could equip those avatars with 2 laser beams, as that means they'll be incredibly powerful. I reckon it's actually 100% more damage per second with the 2 lasers as opposed to 1 laser. So really, I don't see any reason why you'd not upgrade these avatars with the Commandeer technology. Vertigo bombers, it looks like they destroyed, oh my, look at that. He must have destroyed 3 harvesters clumping up together. Ouch, that has gotta hurt a lot. 3 harvesters going down there. And did any of the Vertigos rank up? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if any of them did, as they destroyed like 3 Megapedes and then 3 harvesters. I mean, that is insane. And it's quite an insane transition actually against Scrin, as they are just natural anti-air. They're just so good at killing aircraft, Scrin. I mean, they've got the shard launchers, and they're just totally overpowered against aircraft such as these. Vertigo's just chilling out at the moment. Seekers, though, if they manage to flank into this base, the harvesters of cRoNic could be in danger, but I don't think cRoNic really cares. He doesn't care about those anymore. He would rather that Freestyler had no army but a large economy, since he has the units here to kill Freestyler with, and that's really what he'll be hoping to achieve. Try and bring Freestyler's unit status down to 0 so he wins, so he can steamroll his base. And as you can see, these harvesters are so dead now. That harvester is actually full, so he'll want to keep that harvester alive at all costs. 2 avatars, though, going to be coming in to save the day, and those 2 Seekers there, looks like they were left behind to die by these Seekers here, and that is, again, a glitch in Kane's Wrath. You sometimes order units to go backwards, and then 2 or 3 units will just ignore your commands. Can you lose a lot of units unnecessarily, but I think it can be circumvented if you make the move order twice, like if you right click twice. Anyways, I'm so distracted here. We've got the Redeemer. It looks like it was EMP'd by the Reaper tripod. Stealth tanks out for cRoNic, so cRoNic getting desperate now, resorting to all of these sneaky harassment units, such as the stealth tanks and the Vertigo bombers. And speaking of the Vertigo bombers, they're coming in to destroy the tripod. The tripod is not destroyed yet, and these Vertigo bombers, one of them has not dropped their bombs, I can tell you that for a fact. And the Hexapod here, it is coming out of EMP, but there is more buggies here to EMP the Hexapod, and all of a sudden this Hexapod is going to be EMP'd permanently. There is just too many EMP buggies there for the Hexapod to escape from, and that Hexapod is going down by the hands of the Redeemer, and the Redeemer going to be getting some nice experience there. Unfortunately, Mark of Cain do not have the flamethrower, the the black hand hard point on their Redeemer, so they can't flame down structures Actually, the Redeemer, the MOK Redeemer, is nowhere near as potent as the Black Hand / Nod Redeemer for taking out structures. It's going to have to rely mainly on its primary weapon, which is the laser, of course. And as you can see, the only thing that Freestyler has to do is spam Disintegrators, and Disintegrators are a great choice against the MOK Redeemer, as it only has 2 repair pads in it. Cyberstorm, eXs.cRoNic should move his MCV immediately there now, as he will benefit mostly from those MOK turrets. The Shredder turrets, of course, have the charged particle beam upgrade. I'm not sure if he even upgraded it. Okay, he didn't, as you can see on the tech lab. Charged particle beams is nowhere to be seen. He does have Tib Core and EMP Buggy and the EMP coils, which he has used to great effect in taking out that Hexapod. Hexapod recovered for Freestyler, and this time he's going to put 3 disintegrator segments inside of it, so obviously does not have enough funds or the time to make shock troopers. That is really the only reason why you'd go for disintegrators, as it only takes 3 seconds to train the units. So it looks like it's a little stalemate now. Where are these tripods heading? I wouldn't say that's a good idea going to that base there. Yeah, Freestyler realizing that now and send them back. Luckily for him, not losing a single tripod to that obelisk of light. cRoNic coming in with his vertigo bomber. Will he nail those corruptors? And ooh, that is good. Good force firing by cRoNic, who destroys two of the corruptors, and that corruptor there goes down. He could have destroyed the second one, but that's nice work there. 4 corruptors for the price of 2 vertigo bombers, which will be going to rearm themselves right now. And as you can see, it looks like he's training more vertigo bombers, so obviously he's seeing that cRoNic, the Freestyler, is quite susceptible to those vertigo bombers, so he's not going to hesitate to build more of them. Rage generator goes off. It looks like 1 or 2 of the tripods was affected. Okay, none of the tripods were affected, but the Hexapod, it did start killing its own units. And oh no, the stasis shield is in effect, trapping this Redeemer inside of the bubble. Vertigo bombers, though, are just a complete pain for eXs.cRoNic, and eXs.cRoNic, he's holding on desperately with these vertigo bombers. Luckily, the stasis shield is also in his own favor, as well, as it will be trapping it inside there. And oh, I forgot to mention that the Redeemer is cloaked, so that's why he's casting the swarm support power on the Redeemer. That's a nice advanced strategy there to detect the cloaked Redeemer, or any cloaked units to that matter. Just use the swarm as screen, and just the infantry, of course, in this game can detect stealth units in a very small radius. A lot of action going on here. We've got vertigo bombers, tripods facing, Hexapod here, and tripods with disintegrators facing off against avatars, vertigo bombers, and a Redeemer. Will the Redeemer survive this? That is the question. He will want to hold back as long as possible. He'll need that rage generator to recharge. Look at the corruptors. I mean, seriously, there's like 10 corruptors there. I mean, he's going to have to destroy those corruptors, obviously, or this Hexapod's going to be invincible. And all that tripod, taking out the vertigo bomber. That is not a nice sight. I'd reckon this rage generator is recharged, and it is, and there we go. This Hexapod's been trapped here, and those units are still under the effect of the rage, so you couldn't order those units to come and heal the Hexapod, and those corruptors are too late. And leaving that Hexapod to die there, so that was excellent timing by eXs.cRoNic, killing the Hexapod when it was away from the corruptor's help. And he somehow defends off against that attack. And there is no Tibrium left, so eXs.cRoNic has really proven to be an excellent MOK player, obviously, because he camped a lot, and of course MOK are notorious campers, and if they win due to that, then there's no problem really. I mean, that's how MOK is meant to be played as. I've got nothing against it. And of course, it's a part of the game. Reaper 17, though, they don't have any artillery units, so it's quite difficult for them to penetrate a base such as this, which does have a nice little defense going on there. Stealth tank gonna take a shot, swipe at these harvesters. 2 harvesters going down, but there is hardly any Tiberium for them to mine and harvest, so the only thing that these stealth tanks are doing is getting experience, and experience is what the stealth tanks need to level up. Right, so at the moment I'd say that cRoNic is to be in a good position of winning this game. I'd say he should definitely move his MCV in now, as the only thing that this Redeemer needs is some anti-infantry. Then it will be quite a robust army. As the stealth tanks, as you can see, they've got typical missiles. I was about to say they just about annihilate aircraft, and that was exactly what I meant by annihilate aircraft, destroying all of those Storm Riders with the typical missiles. The clumping up did not help Freestyler either, contributing to the loss factor. What is Freestyler going to do now? I mean, he does have a tripod. He's got Ravager Squad, Seeker, and some photon cannons. Rage generator goes off, and again, this is just more and more pain for these units. And will this tripod survive? Yes, it does, but it's going to get shot by the Redeemer, and no, not quite. Just kidding. Where are the avatars? Again, he should be really supporting this Redeemer here, as the tripod's coming in to EMP the Redeemer, and the Redeemer does get EMP, but the tripods are in here to save the day. Not the tripods, the Vertigo bombers. And all these hurt, these really hurt, these shard plasma missile batteries. They're so agonizing to the aircraft. You will want to stay away from those at all costs. So, no epic unit yet for Freestyler. He does have some Tiberium left. He is in control of the spikes. He's got 3 spikes exactly, while cRoNic is on 1 spike. cRoNic could sell one of these refineries to get some additional cash. I mean, it's only $500, but it's could play a significant part in winning this game, actually. And stealth tanks destroying more harvesters. This is turning out to be almost exactly like the game I bottled against Kimasabi. Freestyler versus Kimasabi is almost identical. Crazy, isn't it? And the stealth tank ranks up to veteran. But will cRoNic lose his stealth tanks without a reason? I do not know. He will not want to suicide those stealth tanks like Kimasabi did. He got it to heroic, and then bam, just got destroyed by a photon cannon, which was not very good at all. Nuh-uh. So, 3rd Hexapod for Freestyler. Hopefully it won't be wasted this time. He has no planetary assault carriers or devastator warships, so the only way to win against this, I'd say, is steamroll or tripods, and I think it's beginning to look incredibly unlikely that he'll be able to do so, as the Tiberium on the map is almost exhausted. Except this field here. I mean, if he realized that this field has Tiberium on it, he should definitely send his harvesters there. But those stealth tanks have been such a pain in the ass for him. I mean, if they've destroyed like 5 harvesters. I didn't count how many, but those stealth tanks destroyed a lot of Freestyler's economy. And let's keep an eye on these Vertigo bombers. What are they going for? Stealth tanks here by cRoNic. I'd say the only counter to these stealth tanks is storm columns. I mean, sure, he has the shard launchers, but the thing is, photon cannons can't shoot over buildings, unlike the storm columns. So if you place a storm column here, bam! Stealth tank is instantly destroyed, and that's what I like about storm columns over the photon cannons. And one of the reasons why I just don't tend to upgrade the shard launchers, because the photon cannons, the storm columns are really good enough. I like the damage, how the damage is instant. and units can't really kite it. I mean, as soon as you're in range of that storm column, it's over, completely over. And bam! Hexapod being emped once again. And this is the price you pay for not supporting your epic units, my friend. Just gonna get EMP'd constantly. I mean, especially against a faction such as MOK. I mean, MOK is just... their faction is completely all about EMP. Their main traits, their main perks, rather, having a lot of units that have EMP abilities, while bugs sometimes can serve to be quite useful. But ironically, he's actually using Raider Buggies as the greatest method for EMP. And Raider Buggies, despite MOK having Awakened and Enlightened, the MOK Raider Buggy actually has a longer EMP duration than those MOK infantry squads. So an EMP buggy's EMP lasts 10 seconds compared to the Enlightened, which only lasts 6 or 7. So it's actually better training MOK EMP buggies, as they are also $500. So yeah, that is an interesting fact. Vertigo bombers coming out once again. Gonna hunt down some harvesters. These stealth tanks here, I reckon, are gonna seal the deal and give the win to eXs.cRoNic. I don't think Freestyler has much to say about this at the moment. He's training disintegrators. I mean, it looks like he's just being outplayed. I'd hate to say this, but it does look like he's been outplayed this game by eXs.cRoNic. Although eXs.cRoNic, I mean, he was on one base for the whole time. So props to him for winning with a significantly lower income, using your units much more effectively. And of course, this game just proves how micro in Kane's Wrath can be rewarding over just pure unit massing. This is a great example of how Kane's Wrath differs over Tiberium Wars. I mean, in Tiberium Wars, you wouldn't see a game such as this where you would have just a few units destroying everything. In that game, it's more about spam and basically gathering as much Tiberium as humanly possible, steamrolling your opponent. Stealth tank is elite. eXs.cRoNic doing his best to micro these stealth tanks. He will take a swipe at this airfield, taking out the airfield. And I just can't wait to see the stealth tank rank up to heroic. So it fires those beautiful red rockets that everyone likes to see. Well, not everyone. I mean, those who are MOK fans and of course Nod fans will love to see that. eXs.cRoNic again defending off against this aggression. I mean, he's playing as MOK, but he hasn't gone for the charged particle beams. I mean, the supercharged particle beams are really the reason why you play MOK, and the EMP capabilities. So really, he's played MOK like a Nod faction in this game. It has turned out to be the most effective way, in my opinion. The Raider Buggy, of course, is a very good unit. Also detects stealth, as you can see in its abilities in the description. If you hover over the unit portrait, it will tell you. Detects stealth. The Nod EMP Buggy does not detect stealth, but the MOK and Black Hand ones do indeed detect the stealth units. This game is slowing down a little bit here. I'm not sure if Freestyler has came to understand that he has lost this game, but surely he will be saying his GG's pretty soon. I mean, he's got nothing left. He's got one harvester, 2 harvesters, 3 harvesters, and oh my goodness, we've got a nuke. Nuke goes off. I don't want to miss this nuke. Where's the nuke gonna land? I reckon it's gonna land here. Let's watch this nuke. It's gonna be so hilarious, so gonna be awesome. Boom! Amazing nuke. Yes, that's what I've been waiting for. Oh, just so cool, that nuke, and it drops my frame rate to about 24 frames per second. Wow. Awesome. So there we go. I love that nuke. It's so good. Although it's quite a gimmick in my opinion, as it's not as bad as the iron cannon where it gives away its position, but you have like 2 or 3 seconds to set off and get some cash rebate for those structures that you paid for. So, cRoNic, you've only got one more base to destroy, buddy. When will you go there and destroy it? Freestyler not giving up just yet. Still going to go for Seekers. Although it's kind of a lost cause, especially if your opponent has a nuke. A flippin' nuke. And he just nuked your base. I mean, you should be dead by now. Unless Freestyler manages to pull off an incredible comeback. With, you know, maybe hacks. Now would be a great time for money hacks. Which we all know who I'm talking about now. Overkill that Seeker. Seeker just gets annihilated by those vertigo bombs. And of course MOK, not having the flamethrowers, they do suffer from base destroying units. I mean, they've got nothing that can destroy bases. I'm not counting anything except beam cannons that can destroy buildings rapidly. Beam cannons and infantry would be probably the best way to go at the moment. But cRoNic not giving up just yet. I mean, he does have Seekers and Disintegrators, which is the logical choice at the moment, as he does not have his technology assembler. One refinery with 4 harvesters, so he's got an odd ratio there. Does he have his refinery still at this field? I mean, he does have one harvester there. He could transfer one or two harvesters there at the moment. And that would be an ideal ratio. Redeemer taken out a reactor. And when will this game end? I don't think Freestyler has any hope of winning this, to be honest. Especially against a camp like this. I mean, 1 obelisk there, 2 obelisks there, Venom there, and several EMP buggies. There's no entrance into that base. That's simple. And the only weakness in this base is to go around here and around. And even then, you've got vertigo bombers to contend with, and of avatars which will easily relocate, as they're not static base defenses. Redeemer. Let's just watch this race generator. Boom, goes off. Annihilation. Look at these disintegrators. They're so mad at their own kit. I don't know why. 1 minute they're friends, and then 1 second they're just blowing each other to bits for no apparent reason. That is just video games, my friend. Nothing ever makes sense. Moving in the drone ship, perhaps he's got something in mind, like a mothership. Mothership would actually be the only way to win. The absolutely only way to win at this current time. There's no way he's going to let a mothership kill him. I mean, a mothership, at the moment, seems highly unlikely. Does he have a crane? He does have a crane, and I bet he's got a mothership queued. Not a mothership, a signal transmitter. That would be pretty hilarious to see a mothership and a nuke in the same game. So, you know, I think I'm going to wub this game just for those 2 things. And of course, the impressive use of stealth tanks. And there it is, the mothership. But this signal transmitter will get destroyed immediately. And those vertigo bombers coming to kill the mothership. But this mothership should definitely fire on the ground now. Will he get a shot off on the mothership? On the lightning spike? He doesn't. But will he shoot this mothership? This mothership's going to fire. Will he shoot? Will this be the end of cRoNic? That is the question. Will he destroy this mothership in time before it fires? And the mothership fires, but does it go into effect? No, it doesn't go into effect. And luckily for cRoNic, that did not work for Freestyler for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, there was a unit underneath it, a vehicle, and vehicles, I think they... Actually, no, I don't think vehicles transmit the mothership effect. It's only structures, infantry, and aircraft. So that was a nice last-ditch attempt by Freestyler, trying to win using the mothership. But you know, cRoNic's going to come in and say, hey, I've still got this stealth tank here, buddy. Don't forget about me. And that was his drone ship as well. Actually, no, he's got a drone ship here. He must have built a new one. Redeemer coming in. It's not even worth. I mean, you should just crush those disintegrator squads. It's the only way he'll destroy the Redeemer. But even then, I think it's all over for Freestyler. This is like the 10th time I've said that. And he's just going to get nuked again, isn't he? So 2 nukes in the same game, and Freestyler does not get the memo. It's GG. Be curious to know if this stealth tank will rank up to heroic. It is elite still. And oh wow, he just lost his stealth tank. Losing his stealth tank, that is poor micro Cyberstorm, but I think you're just waiting to use your nuke on this base here, aren't you? You're going to nuke this base and then it's over. It's completely over for Freestyler. And Freestyler, it looks like he has lost his drone. Actually, his drone's moved back to the green field yet, so again, he's not giving up, is he? No, not giving up at all. And this Redeemer, will it crush those disintegrators? Or is losing a lot of his health here. I don't know about this. I think it's a bad idea. This Redeemer likely going to go down. But there are Venoms here. Luckily for him, they're going to take out the disintegrators. And where is the nuke going to hit? I think the nuke's going to hit here. For sure it's going to hit here. And boom! That is just insult to injury, my friends. What a way to go down, being nuked twice in the same game. I guess he kind of deserves it for going for the mothership, which is extremely cheap. Extremely cheap way to win. And I did promise eXs.cRoNic that I'd VOD this game. I never, ever don't fulfill my promises. But I'm afraid it got to a very slow pace in the last 20 or so minutes. Well, not 20 or so minutes, but 10 minutes. So that's really the only complaint I have about this game. Other than that, it was fairly entertaining. And Freestyle is still looking to be in a very, very bad position, and I don't see him ever coming back from this. eXs.cRoNic, I mean, he has cleared the map of Freestyler's presence. He could move his MCV now to this green field here, build a refinery and start harvesting the Tiberium, and just get a huge army, completely overwhelm everything that Cyberstorm Freestyler has. Venom's moving into position now, and the Redeemer is elite. Will it go heroic, or will it go down to the disintegrators? That is a good question. He has to be careful, as there is a Seeker there. It could reveal the Redeemer. And those disintegrators now just completely blowing themselves apart. And he has to watch out for that plasma missile battery, and that's what he's doing. He's not going too far forward, as that will destroy his Redeemer. I'm not sure what Freestyle is hoping to accomplish here. Perhaps he is just, you know, praying that Cyberstorm will make a profound error and lose his Redeemer to these disintegrators. Then he may have a slight chance of winning the game. And oh man, fireworks going off outdoors. You may actually hear them at the moment. And you may ask me, well, why aren't you going outdoors and celebrating the new year? Well, you know, I've got nothing else to do at the moment. And you know, I think it's kind of overrated, the new year. But you know, I have no problems people celebrating it at all. Take every opportunity you can to be happy. And get drunk. Heroic Redeemer. Excellent work by Cyberstorm, getting this Redeemer all the way to Heroic. And those Venoms looks like they do finally have the charged particle beams now. And this is it for Freestyler, who will be defeated right now. Prolonging the game for some reason. He will not have any chances to make a comeback, I'm afraid. Oh, what the... Has he got a Hexapod? Really? A Hexapod against a Heroic Redeemer? That is absolutely ludicrous idea. I mean, at least a tripod, because a tripod can EMP the Redeemer permanently. That's the only... That's actually better than a Hexapod, as the Hexapod will not stand up to the Heroic Redeemer in a one-on-one battle. And Freestyler finally being defeated there. Took forever, but you know, he did give up in the end. Forcefully though, may I add. And cRoNic, well done for winning that. I better go out now and start to celebrate the new year, 2013. As I mentioned in the start of the VOD, Happy New Year everyone. It's been a great year, of course. Especially for Kane's Wrath. In the last quarter of this year, we saw quite a few pros coming back. Technique being one of them. And quite a few others who I forgot to mention. Bonus Root, that's of course another pro. And many, hopefully many more will come and go in the next year or so. So yeah, excellent. So cRoNic. Raider Buggy is his favorite unit. Disintegrators for Freestyler. Kill to death ratio in favor of cRoNic. That's to be expected though, as his economy was so low compared to Freestyler. How did Freestyler let that one go? Wow. Did he really let that go with 100,000 more resources? That is absolutely insane. That's almost like me. Most of my games are like this. So if you watch my games, then the unit graph resource tab will look similar to this one here, which is due to the fact that the Hexapod just ruins everything. But in this game, Freestyler, he wasted his Hexapod. He didn't use his Hexapod efficiently. He could have just turtled up in his base and made a lot of units and then went out there and just completely overwhelmed everything that cRoNic had. As Freestyler, he was just losing his units, his armies, like bite-sized armies all the time. To send them out one after the other to get destroyed by cRoNic's small, well-fortified base. And cRoNic defended well, so yeah, that was a nice game. Anyways, if you thought the video was not good or even remotely entertaining, don't forget to like it. Anyways, this is Master Leaf. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.